Welcome back to the 10th episode of my 12-part series recapping my life in Japan. I started October in Beppu, my second time volunteering at the onsen hostel I worked at back in April. This time I had my best friend Joanna nearby. She was volunteering at a hostel in the neighborhood, so we spent nearly every day together. Our favorite routine? Long walks by the ocean, taking in the fresh sea breeze and capping it off with drinks at the beach. Those peaceful moments were some of my favorites. Simple, yet so special.
We got it? Did we get a prize?
No! Oh, and I have to tell you about my hair disaster in Japan. So I thought it would be fun to try something new and get an ombre look. I went to this salon that seemed super nice, but oh my gosh, it was a total nightmare. They bleached my hair to death and the color ended up looking so much worse than when I started with. Like, it was bad. A week later, I went back hoping they could fix it, and the solution? Dyed brown. Well, it was better than before, but honestly, my hair was fried at that point. The whole thing was such a mess. So, lesson learned, don't expect Japanese hairdressers to know how to deal with Scandinavian hair. If you're ever in Japan and think about doing something drastic with your hair, maybe just don't. Consider this your warning. Anyway, life goes on, so Joanna and I, we decided to rent a car and go on a little road trip. Renting cars in Japan generally is super cheap and very convenient and easy. So if you have a driver's license, I would highly recommend you to go on a car trip. Yugawa Canyon is a spot near Yuen and it's all about nature. It's a peaceful place with clear rivers, waterfalls and lush greenery. It's great for a chill hike, especially in autumn when the leaves turn colors. It's the perfect spot if you're into outdoor beauty and relaxing vibes. Next on our list during this road trip was Yubo Street. It's a charming, bustling street located in Yuen, Oita Prefecture. It's a popular spot for visitors looking to soak in the local atmosphere and shop for unique souvenirs. The street is lined with small shops, cafes and galleries. And you can't forget Yuen Floral Village. Last, we ended up at Usa Jingu. This is a cool historical Shinto shrine in Usa, dedicated to the protector deity Hachiman. It's got impressive Torii gates, peaceful grounds, and a nice forested area to explore. It's perfect if you're into culture, history, or just want to take in some calm vibes. There is a lot to do in Beppu and I have covered a lot of it in my previous videos, but one thing I do recommend is the Takawara Onsen. Founded almost 150 years ago, it is famous for their sand baths. Because it's normally not allowed to film inside, I took this little snippet from Dogen's video so you can see how it is. It's really hot and claustrophobic in like a good way. After 2 weeks in Beppu, it was time to travel again. From Beppu, I had to make my way to Kanazawa. That's where my next volunteering job was, but instead of just going there directly, I decided to visit some main cities along the way. I had about 2 weeks and I decided to go first to Kokura, then Yamaguchi, Matsu, Toori and Himeji. First stop, Kokura. Kokura was such a fun mix of history and quiet charm. Of course, I had to check out Kokura Castle. It's the main attraction and seriously gorgeous. At the time I was there was also a festival. I also visited Sugahara Shrine and Yasaka Shrine Kaguradan. Both were so peaceful and it was nice to just wander around and soak in the vibe. One hidden gem was Jodoshu Choenji, this quiet little temple that felt like a secret spot. Kokura was small but had such a nice mix of history and calm energy. Of course, I don't live only for castles, shrines, and temples. I also enjoy some good food and shopping. Next up was Yamaguchi, and to be honest, like Yamaguchi central station around that area, it's not that much to do, but that's okay because it's actually the perfect prefecture for driving. I spent most of my time cruising along the coastline and the views were just breathtaking. One of the coolest spots was Akiyoshido Cave, this massive limestone cave with these incredible formations. It's a little spooky, but in the best way. And then it was back on the road again, and I just can't tell you how much fun it is driving in Japan. It sounds really scary, but it's really not. You get used to it really quickly. Anyway, I could just be driving end on end, but I did actually go to Fukutoki Inari Shrine, but it was not allowed to film or take pictures there. It was really strict. So I just kept going until I got to Motonosumi Inari Shrine. You know, the one with those iconic red Torii gates leading to the ocean. It's even prettier in real life. Taineji Temple was really quiet and nice. A lot of times temples don't have their own booth where you can just go and get your stamp called goshin. You have to call the building and then someone will meet you at the door and make one for you. And it's always so nerve-wracking to like ask in Japanese, but it's a lot of fun too. Higashi Castle town in Yamaguchi Prefecture is a charming slice of Japanese history, known for its samurai vibes and connection to the Meiji Restoration. The town still rocks its Edo period street layout with narrow lanes and preserved samurai houses in the Kikugahama district. You can peek into some of these houses and see how the samurai used to live. Next up, it's Matsu, and Matsu is all about water, flowers, and history. Matsu felt like it had a little bit of everything. I started with Beppu Shrine, a beautiful traditional shrine that had a really calm energy. Then I visited Matsu Castle, which is one of the few original castles left in Japan. The view from the top was unreal. After the castle, I hopped on the Matsuhorikawa boat tour, which took me along the city's canals. It was so cool seeing Matsu from the water. It had such a unique vibe. I ended up being the only foreigner on this boat trip, but that was okay. I also struggled quite a lot to understand the guide tour because he only spoke in Japanese, but I got the gist of it. I wrapped up my Matsu trip by visiting Yuen Flower Park, which was full of stunning flowers and a perfect place to relax. Toori was next, and wow, it was an adventure. The Sand Museum was first on my list. It's this amazing museum where they create crazy detailed sculptures out of sand. I couldn't believe how intricate the designs were. And every year they have different designs. This year it was the ancient Egypt. Then I checked out the Toori sand dunes, which felt like I had suddenly been transported to a desert. Sand as far as the eye could see. If you wanted to, you could ride camels and you can even book time to do sandboarding. Then it was on to Himeji, which was just iconic. I have to say, the restaurant Gusto turned out to be my favorite, and I just love that you order on the iPad and then there's a robot cat that delivers the food. Of course, I had to visit Higashi Castle, one of Japan's most famous castles, and it did not disappoint. The place looks like something straight out of a movie, white and massive with incredible views from the top. After the castle, I went to Kokura Garden, which is right next to the castle. It's a beautiful traditional garden, and it was the perfect place to relax after touring the castle. Next, I visited Himeji Kokura Shrine and Himeji Jinja, both of which had a quiet, peaceful vibe. I ended my stay in Himeji with a cable car up to Engyoji Temple, which is nestled atop Mount Shosha. It's a peaceful spot with a lot of history. It's been around since the 9th century and has been a popular place for pilgrims. The temple is a part of a larger complex with stunning views of Himeji and the countryside, plus beautiful nature, especially in the autumn when the leaves change. If you're into movies, you might recognize it's from The Last Samurai, where it's been used as a filming location. It's a calm place to visit, less touristy, and perfect if you want to connect with nature and history. the end of the month, I ended up in Kanazawa. I was honestly looking forward to reconnecting with someone after traveling alone for almost 2 weeks, but plot twist, it turned out to be a low season at the hostel. I was the only volunteer, and on top of that, the hostel was closed for a lot of days, so I ended up being there all alone. At first it wasn't that bad, but after a while I started feeling pretty isolated. I missed having that close, real connection with people. To be honest, I got kind of down. I felt a bit depressed being on my own all the time. It wasn't what I was expecting. But hey, I tried staying positive. So the last day of this month was Halloween, so I decided to throw a solo Halloween party. It was a bit ridiculous, to be honest, but it was a fun way to end the month. I bought decorations and snacks, and I even dressed up a little bit. I just tried to make the most of it. I had a long video chat with my best friend Joanna, so I didn't feel too lonely. Enjoying Halloween snacks and watching a Halloween movie, I decided to just, I don't know, be weird. And that's the end of this video. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And I will see you in the next one. Mata ne!